guys, welcome back to the Volley. I hope you guys are doing well. We got some mess to get into per usual, child. But before we do, please like this video because it's good for your edges, and don't forget to chime in below. Okay guys, so the internet is on fire because Ice Spice's messy, bitter ex-best friend has exposed her private text messages online. Child, and she was shading Nicki Minaj down in these text messages, okay? I will say, at this point, it's kind of no secret anymore that Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice are not friends and that they don't really deal with each other much anymore. However, the text messages were from a time when Nicki and Ice Spice were seemingly cool. So the internet and especially the Barbs were pretty shocked to see these messages and, have been dragging Ice Spice by that stringy little orange lace front of hers. Let's get into the text that were leaked between Ice Spice and her ex-best friend, where she called Nicki Minaj jealous and also delusional. Ciao. So these are the text messages between Ice Spice and her ex-best friend. The blue bubbles are, Ice Spice's ex-best friend, and, the black bubbles or gray bubbles are Ice Spice. So the best friend says, "How'd the call end yesterday? On a good note?" And Ice Spice says, "Open-ended again. But then James called me with Nicki's old manager of 11 years, and he said she was being unfair, asking for too much," which is what everyone been telling me. But it's hard to negotiate with her because she doesn't let people like lawyers or James talk, etc. The friend says, "I just woke up. That's just so annoying, bro. Does she not realize that she's asking for too much?" Ice says, "No, she doesn't think so at all." Then the friend says, "So frustrating. Do you think you guys will be able to come to a compromise?" Ice says, "Hopefully, but we're about to put out another record in June for the Barbie soundtrack." So these messages, again, like I said, were from a time, it was before Barbie World even came out in June of last year, right? And when I posted that video about Ice Spice's team sabotaging Nicki's verse on the Barbie World track and them not being cool. So let's continue to read the messages. Ice Spice says, "Which is an opportunity I brought her because Barbie asked me to do it alone. But since that's her brand, I invited her on. And she doesn't even see that as me bringing her something. She's kind of like my mom, ungrateful and delusional." Ice Spice continues and says, "I cut her off, by the way, not speaking to her until January." So basically, Ice is saying here, she didn't want to sign the deal with Nicki because she didn't want to agree to whatever percentages Nicki was offering her, and she felt like Nicki was asking for too high of a cut. And also, she basically said that Nicki Minaj was ungrateful because she allowed Nicki to be a part of that Barbie World soundtrack, right? Because Barbie had reached out to her and not Nicki. She also said that they hadn't been speaking at this point and that she wasn't planning to speak to Nicki until January. It's the sneakiness and the shade of it all for me, child. Because Ice Spice was very much still parading around like her and Nicki were very much still cool, and she was still interacting with Barbs and pandering to the Barbs, way after the Barbie World song came out. So why do y'all think she was doing that? Like, what benefit could that possibly have for Ice Spice? The best friend continues. She says, "Oh my God, how does she not even realize that it's not like they initially asked her to do it? That's the thing people always say about her. She'll always think she's doing you a favor. Did she do more, or do you just feel like that's what's best?" Ice Spice says, "No, it's that, plus she wants publishing from all my songs, including third-party writing competitions. So anything I write for other people or any songs I get on. Mind you, I had a Taylor Swift collab before I even had the Nicki one." Now this is tea, because we just saw Taylor Swift occupy the top 14 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 last week. So we know how big a Taylor Swift collaboration is and what that means, right? So these texts was given after she got that Taylor Swift connect and that Taylor Swift collab. She didn't need no Nicki Minaj, which could explain why she didn't really promote that Barbie World song that much, and she was instead promoting Doja's tour that she was supposed to be going on with Doja. See, around that time, the time of the text messages, Ice Spice and her team, their head must have been huge, right? They had just connected with Taylor Swift. They were buzzing. You know, they had this buzz going. And I feel like that's why they felt like they could step on Nicki Minaj's verse on that Barbie World song. And if you know, you know. Okay? And if you don't know, go back and watch my video from 10 months ago when I talked about how Ice Spice's team stepped on Nicki's verse and they sabotaged her verse on that Barbie World collab. But y'all, Ice Spice and her team is just, again, their audacity for me. So then the best friend says, is the Taylor collab coming out? Also, bro, now that I'm thinking about it, what you're saying makes sense. I think we're forgetting that when Nicki was coming up, the deals people were getting at the time weren't artist friendly at all. Literally not until recently. So to us, she's asking for too much. But because she's probably used to seeing labels take more, she feels like it's more than fair. It's not right, but she's much older, which is why she feels that way. Not right at all, though. And Ice Spice says, and that's basically what she's saying, because she keeps saying, oh, when Wayne was signing me, I didn't question, blah, blah, blah. But me and her are in different places in our careers when that happened. So basically what Ice Spice is trying to say here, she's also trying to throw some shade here. She basically trying to say that when Lil Wayne found Nicki, well, number one, he discovered Nicki, right? She really didn't have a buzz, right? And Ice Spice discovered herself, or her producer discovered her, and they generated their buzz on their own. So the time that Nicki is asking Ice Spice to sign her rights over is a different time in the game from when Nicki was signing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So Ice Spice was throwing shade here too, like, girl, I'm Ice Spice. You wasn't Nicki Minaj back then. That's why you fell for that. If you was on the level that I am right now, when you was signing, you would have felt the same way. So yeah, that's what Ice Spice is saying here, that little shade. But me and her are in different places in our career when that happened. Like, I'm already signed, so why would I work backwards? And nah, it's just necessary. Like, she gaslights me too much. I gotta love her from a distance for my mental health. And then the friend says, this is the best way I can describe it. Nicki is like those people who can believe that kids today shouldn't get student loan forgiveness because they had to pay for it back when they went. And Ice Spice says, but mind you, we wanted to pay Nicki her artist fee. Yes, I agree 100%. I think she is jealous that I own all my masters. Because she said, James, you think you the man and you think you so cool in that interview. I don't know why she mentioned that. And James was the one that said, I own my masters in the Billboard interview. The friend responds and says, it's giving jealous 100%. It's actually sad. So Ice Spice feels like Nicki is jealous of her. T audacity. Because she owns her masters and Nicki doesn't. So Ice Spice feels like Nicki is jealous of her because she owns her masters and Nicki doesn't. Probably because a lot of the greats, right? A lot of our great favorite artists actually do not own their masters. That is a big deal. That's why Kanye was making such a big deal out of it when he finally got his masters back. That's why Remy Ma, despite having some of the weakest bars in the game, that's why she was so respected, because no matter what y'all say about Remy Ma, y'all can call her a bum, tell her to pay her rent. Remy is keeping 100% of any earnings that is related to her music or anything, you know, with her likeness, unlike Nicki Minaj. Unfortunately, Nicki still has to pay the piper to this day. Now, she may have a better deal than some of these other newer female rappers like Cardi, who was in a 360, but, you know, she doesn't own her master, so she still has to pay the piper, okay? Owning your masters is a huge deal, y'all. For those who don't know, huge deal. So I can kind of see Nicki feeling a way that someone like an Ice Spice was able to secure that so early in her career. Like, let's be real, right? Nicki had to go through so much and still has not been given, you know, her just due, right? And she has literally carved out this new era and created a lane for these new female rappers, right? She had to take the backlash of being the first rapper ever to openly speak about being gay, homo, or bi, right? Openly in music, in mainstream music. She also got backlash for being the first mainstream artist to champion plastic surgeries like butt implants and injections. She got backlash coming into the game because of her not paying homage to Lil' Kim and starting a beef with Lil' Kim, right? Then she got even more backlash for going pop, or as you guys call it, commercial, and taking rap to the crossover genres, and the list goes on, right? So Nicki has literally had to survive this backlash, overcome it, and still be successful in order for certain things to now be accessible and, considered acceptable for female rap, for rappers, period, but especially female rappers now, right? Let's not even talk about the whole rap beef conversation where we would have to admit that Nicki took backlash for that Bigfoot record just so Drake and Kendrick Lamar could walk and do this beef that they're doing right now. Nicki has definitely opened a lot of doors for rap in general, but especially for female rap. Now, every label wants a Nicki Minaj. Every label wants to sign openly gay artists like Lil Nas X or Saucy Santana, etc. Now all the rap girls feel like they should take that Nicki route and go to DRs, get that fat transfer, right? They all feel like they have to have that plastic surgery now as a starter packet for female rap success. Now, all the female rappers want to make their entry into the game by beefing with somebody instead of paying homage, right? And that's what got Nicki dragged and got her backlash, right? Now, all of the rap girls want to do crossover records and go pop in commercial, right? And I can go on, y'all, because, like she said, if Nicki win, then all of y'all getting meetings, okay? She said what she said. They diss me, but then run and take the same route, right? It's so many Nicki bars that can apply here. But basically what I'm saying is Nicki really took the heat for these women in the rap game to have the opportunities that they have now. So I can definitely see her feeling a type of way, because that's her money, right? Her masters, that's the difference between her having to pay somebody and pocket all the money herself, right? Who is not going to be mad about their money, right? So I can see Nicki Minaj feeling a way that she had to go through all of this to carve this lane that they're just giving so frivolously to these new rap girls. Nicki really has been like the guinea pig for female rap. So I do feel like the music industry, with this, them giving Ice Spice her masters, they're yet again playing in Nicki Minaj's face, right? Giving her these accolades, and she hasn't even put in a quarter of the time that Nicki has, right? Child, I would be mad too. Let Ice Spice own her own masters before me, child, and I'm Nicki Minaj. Please. But by the same token, I do also get that Ice Spice, she is her own person. She is her own artist. She's responsible for her career and her career only, right? So she got to look out for herself first, always, right? She also said, in those text messages that she had to cut Nicki off for her mental health. And mental health is very important, right? I'm never going to tell you to put somebody else in a relationship with somebody else, in a business relationship with somebody else over your own mental health. So I do understand, but what do you guys think? Y'all think Ice Spice was wrong for cutting Nicki off? Do y'all think, she was wrong for what she said about Nicki? Do y'all think she was just using the barbs? Or do y'all think Nicki was wrong for being upset that Ice didn't want to sign that deal, after everything that she gave her? Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to support the channel on the way out, guys. This channel is made for you guys because I know y'all love the mess. So, this is for us Volley girls and boys to come on here and chit chat about the mess. So please become a part of the Volley by subscribing and support the channel by dropping me a like. I don't ask for cash apps or anything. Just drop me a like. You know what I'm saying? If you like the video. So I love you guys all for being here, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.